Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine, and we're here to unbox. This is the VIZIO V51 soundbar. It is similar to the soundbar that we did a couple years ago. It has 6 total speakers, 96 decibel in sound, 5-inch wireless subwoofer, and then surround speakers and everything else, pretty much DTS, Dolby sound and everything like that. So let's go ahead and unbox this, see if I can remember how this works. We got something right there. Let's go up the line. There we go. Looks like we got the tape right there. There we go. Does not want to open. There we go. Here, it's now open. Set that to the side. Let's pull back these flaps. Take out some of the foam here. We got a box, just like before. I think these are the speakers right here. So we'll set these to the side for now. Got another box, and these are the cables that we saw before. Down here is the subwoofer. We'll just pop that out. Piece of cardboard underneath. Oh, because the subwoofer's on the bottom. That's why the speakers. So you got to be a little bit careful about this. The speaker is down underneath, right there, as you can see. So let's go ahead, pull that out. And then it's nice and black. There's a little sound hole right there, and I'll show you these in a second. And then the main sound bar is right here. So let's get this up on the table and take a look at everything. All right, so we got everything here on the table. Let's take a look at what we got. First of all, we're going to take a look at the subwoofer. It is in a nice matte black. There's a little VIZIO on the top here. We got the sound hole right here, and we got the speaker, which is exposed down here. So you want to be careful that you don't puncture that at all. We take a look at the sound hole really quick. Let's move over here and zoom in a little bit, or a lot of it. We have the connection. Basically, we have the connections to the satellite speakers. We have the power button and connect button. No, I guess there's no connect button this time. Just a power button. The previous model had a connect button, but it doesn't look like it. And then the AC in, so just a standard cord right there. I don't see any other buttons or anything like that on this unit. It's nice, flat black. Really nice. Let's move on. Next up is this right here. This is the soundbar itself. We're gonna, and don't know what I did with my knife, so we'll just work with the foam. And once again, you want to be careful because there's speakers and indentions. You don't want to accidentally puncture one of your speakers. That would be bad. Here it is, the 36-inch soundbar. Move that out of the way. So it's right there. There it is right there. Nice and long. On the back here, let's take a look at that. On this side, it basically says this is the HDMI ARC is right here. We'll take this off and set that right there. So that's the ARC cable. And then right above it is the optical cable. Let's see if we can zoom in some more. So there we have the optical cable right there, the HDMI ARC. And on this side, this is what they're calling the voice assistant send through. So if you want to bring your Echo or your Google Home into here, this is where you do it. It's an auxiliary in and an auxiliary. On the top, the buttons. Now, the one thing I didn't like about the last version was those buttons, you couldn't see them. The other one also had a fabric top. This one is solid plastic right here, but you definitely have the power button and looks like a page button of some sort of Bluetooth button, and then a volume up and down button, and very visible options right there. All right, and on this side, what do we have? It looks like we have a USB and the power. So USB on this side over here, and then your power, your plug over here. So 36 inches for the soundbar itself. It's not too bad. Looks pretty sturdy, and we got some rubber feet on the bottom to so it doesn't, of course, transfer sound, and then doesn't look like there's any other buttons or anything like that. Let's see, we got speakers feeling on the sides. We have two side speakers and one middle speaker right about there. All right, that's the sound bar. Let's take a look at the satellite speakers now. There we go. Those are the satellite speakers. Not much to them. We'll pop one out. We'll pop them both out, of course. Let's do that. There we go. And these are the satellite speakers. Yeah, they look really, really small. Take a look at these. Gotta zoom out just a touch here. So, okay, they kind of look like books themselves. They have a little VIZIO on the side, on the back, little mounts for a stand, and then of course the plug to the subwoofer. So two of them, and of course these would go behind you like here and here. So we got that. Let's just take out the other one since we're unboxing. And there we are. So we have two speakers. It can be put on bookshelves. It feels like they need to be like this more than like this, but I'm not sure. Let's feel where the speakers are. We got a hole right here. So yeah, there's a speaker right here, but nothing up on top. So that must just be aesthetics. Now, the reason why I said that they feel like here is because take a look at this. The feet are right here. So I'm assuming if they're set on a table, they're set like that, like so. Let me move that out of the way. There we go. So they're set on the table like so, rather than on the sides like I'd expect them to be. So they would probably go like this. And if you have them on a stand, I'm not sure just yet if they will go on the stand in a vertical or horizontal motion, but I'll have to look for, there's probably instructions in this big box. So let's go ahead and move these out of the way, and then finally get into the cable box here. More tape. There we are. Let's open up the box, and as you can see, there are cables galore in here, including the two power adapter cables, which are right here and right here. Power adapters for the power cables for the bar and for the subwoofer. We have the satellite speaker cables. They're probably about 25 feet, but I'll check the instructions to double check on that. Up on top here, we have a simple phone jack, or not phone jack, but stereo jack, TRRS stereo jack. Let's zoom in right here. Zoom it in. There, yeah. This is basically a stereo jack to stereo jack, which is so you can plug in a phone or another device. So next up we have here, looks like an HDMI cable. I don't know what type of HDMI cable. I usually get my own HDMI cables because these are usually not the best cables in the box. It looks like we have, okay, mounting brackets, and I'm guessing these are for the satellite speakers right here. So we got that. Okay, yeah. So these are for the sound bar right here. So some metal brackets, so you can actually set them up on a wall, possibly. Yeah. And so I would guess that these would go in. This side would go on the wall, and then the speakers would set up here, which is interesting. And then of course a couple. Or maybe it's the other way. I don't know. I'll have to check. I probably won't use these because I probably don't have any place to mount them to. The remote is supposed to be different than the previous model. Let's just open this up and take a look at this remote really quick. It looks like it's AAA battery. AAA battery. I don't know why they don't make remotes with batteries that you can just plug in and charge for about an hour or two and then unplug it. USB, you know, why give me AAA batteries for that? It just doesn't make sense. So anyway, there's the remote. We got the input. It looks a little different from the last version, but pretty much the same functionality. We got the input, we got the Bluetooth, we got the power, and then the volume up, volume down setup in effect. And I'm guessing that the SmartCast app will definitely also be used on that. So this will go into the remote drawer when I absolutely need it. We have a couple AAA batteries, which is always cool, but once again, I just don't understand why they don't make a rechargeable battery system for this. Optical cable, we've got just a regular, this is a TRRS to RCA jack cable. So if you've got, I don't know if you got older phones or if you've got a stereo or something like that you're plugging into, you got that option. And then, did I miss any cables? Doesn't look like it. We have a little foam on the bottom. Yeah, that's foam. Nothing in there, nothing in there, nothing in there, nothing in there. Okay, perfect. Let's get this out of the way. And then up on top, we have the instructions. Let's take a look at these instructions so you can see what I see. There's two things in here. Oh, this one looks like a wall mount guide. If you decide to wall mount. So those brackets are not for the satellite speakers. I think those brackets are actually for the soundbar. Let's double check. So there should be a couple of holes on the soundbar. Yes, there are. I thought those were screw holes for, you know, if you ever tried to take it apart. But no, there's a hole. There's a mounting hole right here and a mounting hole right there. So you can actually put those on a mount. You can put this onto a wall, onto a back wall like so. So that's pretty cool. If you have your TV mounted up on the wall. So gotta save that. Let's put that in over there. Now let's take a look at these instructions really quick. So we all have seen the instructions at least once. This is how it looks. So as you can see in here, now I'm seeing this. Yes, these are lying horizontally as opposed to vertically. The previous versions, they were always vertical. So that's something new. Safety instructions. Everything that we should have had: the soundbar, the subwoofer, the surround speakers or satellite speakers, remote control with two AAA batteries, HDMI cable, power cables. There were supposed to be some cable ties. I think I saw them, but I discounted them as foam inside there. So wall mount brackets for the soundbar. Okay, and then okay, yeah, that was this thing. Let's see, there they are. These are the mount brackets for the satellite speakers if you wanted to mount them up onto your wall. So I'm not sure how that works. That's got an interesting thing, and I don't see extra parts to that bracket. We'll have to take a look at that really quick and go from there. And of course the user manual. So power port, USB in, just like we said, and then of course the HDMI ARC. What's interesting is they don't have, I think it's just one, yeah, it's one HDMI. I thought the previous version had two HDMIs in there, one for the ARC and one for the regular, but they don't have that. Auxiliary in and auxiliary VA is the bottom part for analog audio in, and well, they're both for analog audio in, but I'm guessing this is the VA is where you would put in your virtual assistant or personal assistant there. We got the top of the soundbar. We have, okay, so the power button, that little one with the arrow in it, that was the input button. We had the Bluetooth and, of course, the volume. On the subwoofer, of course, the LED, there's going to be an LED indicator on that subwoofer next to the power button, the power port, and the surround speaker ports. And then the satellite speakers have these surround ports, so. And then just connecting it up, it says you can connect up the RCA to 3.5 millimeter. That's good. Better is the optical, and then of course best is the HDMI ARC. I use the HDMI ARC on almost every single time. Every now and then, if I run into some problems with the HDMI ARC, I'll switch over to the optical, and I rarely use the RCA. But you can plug all three in if you have the option. It's not going to degrade the sound at all. Now, simply, this is going to tell you, okay, plug this into the wall, and then, of course, the subwoofer into the satellite speakers, keeping the satellite speakers vertical, and then plug it in. Put in your batteries into your remote, and okay, we got the remote here. It's got the, as you can see, it's got the display, the input, the power, everything like that. Let's see what else they're suggesting here. For best surround experience, position the soundbar, subwoofer, and surround sound speakers as shown. So they're saying put it on at a table, and then this subwoofer. This is basically what I've got back on in the living room, but I have the surround speakers on the satellite stands, special stands that are all by themselves. So you can also put it in a front configuration. So everything is in front of you at the TV side. So, and I'm assuming there's probably a setting that you will change to say, hey, this is where all the speakers live. So I could actually, if I had it in the studio, I could put the whole soundbar stuff right there, right underneath the main monitor. So, and then that's pretty much it. I'll let you read the rest of the manual. All right, well, let's pull it all up and let's show you what we got. So we got the two satellite speakers. We got the subwoofer. Oh, there we go. We got the remote right there. And then we've got this is the 36-inch soundbar. I know that they will make other longer versions. I don't think they'll make anything shorter than the 36. That is everything in a nutshell. That you get with the VIZIO 5.1 soundbar, the V51-H6 soundbar, and that's everything right here.